It's finale week. Welcome to The Wave. My name is Adam.
My name's Nick. Welcome to The Wave, the weekly news and chat show from the world famous Bottom of the Stream podcast. The last week of season 10
It is.
is upon us.
It is indeed. Last week of season 10.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, The Wave's here as usual, and then be back here Thursday, the final movie of the season.
It's going into the stream table.
It will, to complete season 10.
And what is the movie?
We will be back on Thursday talking about Dangerous Game, The Legacy Murders.
We will. I feel like it's going to be a fun episode, this one.
I think, not to hype it up too much, but this could be an all-timer.
Oh, wow.
Like, this movie is something else.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
I can't wait to talk about it.
No, same.
And I would say, go and watch this movie.
100%.
That is not a recommendation necessarily.
Absolutely not.
But go watch this movie.
Yeah. I get that. I 100% get that. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today we're here to talk about news and stuff.
Yeah, how are you, Adam? What have you been up to?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Good.
What have I been up to? I haven't really been up to much, I don't think. No.
Are you going to answer the question the whole world wants to know?
Go on.
Did you find the hole in your back garden?
I found the hole in my back garden
Well
that the
done.
washing line goes into. However, you will notice that the washing line is not in the hole currently.
So you are playing with fire.
The lawn keeps needing to be cut. But I know where it is now. There's a weed, and that weed has a leaf that goes over my hole.
Okay.
But now I found the hole. It took me 3 attempts, but I found it.
How did you find it?
Just stumbled upon it.
Right. Did you go, oh, I'll lift that leaf?
I did. I was like, I wonder if it's near that weed. And it was.
Okay. Was that close to where you had been looking? Or were you
Not as close as you would hope, considering that hole's not moved for 10 years.
I love it. I was hoping that would be your answer. Good.
Yeah, apart from that, nothing really eventful's happened in my life, I think.
That's pretty eventful.
It is, yeah. What about yourself?
Eventful. I don't think it's been the most exciting week.
No?
I'm trying to desperately recall what I did at the weekend.
Okay.
Which is also not going good. I tell you what, it's not something I've done, but the balance in my house is different this week.
Oh, okay.
Because there's only 3 of us.
Oh, what's happened to the 4th?
So the eldest daughter is away on a residential.
Oh, okay. School trip.
Yes.
What we used to call them.
So
Where's she gone?
Oh, one of these like outward bound type.
Oh,
Go
okay.
and abseil and climb and build a raft and that sort of thing.
She's going to come back and stink.
Probably, yeah.
Unwashed child.
So it's amazing how you get used to like just the ebbs and flows and the
Yeah.
you know
Just feel off now.
no well yes a little bit, but also it's loads easier only having one child in the house rather than
I
2.
did wonder when you had
And
your
that-
second one. I was like, why
And
is
that is not a comment on this particular child. It doesn't
No,
really,
if anything, you've been left with the more difficult one.
it doesn't really matter which one's not around.
No. It's just easier when there's only one of them.
It's easier. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's been interesting.
Is she old enough to move out yet?
Probably.
Not quite.
I would say not.
You've got another 20 years yet.
Yeah.
In this housing market.
Yeah. Yeah, quite possibly so. So that's been interesting. That has been interesting.
When's she back?
Friday night.
Cool.
So yeah. It's got nice.
Now, has the weather's
Someone
out?
said to me today.
The weather's out.
The weather's out. I've literally been locked away on my laptop all day working.
Yep.
Like a good boy on various meetings, conferences, and stuff. And someone from work rang me at about 4:00, asking me, what do we do about this? I went, it's a really nice day, isn't it? I went, I've got no idea.
I've not been out.
It's really warm. I was like, tell you what, I'm going to take the rest of this phone call with you in my garden. And it was, I walked outside and I was like, how did I not know about this?
What has happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been glorious today. I had an all-day long meeting today at work, and the only room I could get was the one with no windows.
Ugh,
but
worst.
it was refused. We were like, we're not having the meeting if we're going in that room.
Okay.
So we kicked the MD out of his office and had it in there.
Quite right.
He's got
too.
2 windows.
Yeah. Yeah, that's too many windows. You should give one window to the windowless room.
It has got a window, but it's got two windows, but they both lead to inside.
Yeah.
So
Just knock
it's not
through.
really windows, are they?
Knock through.
Absolutely. I would if it was mine, but it's not.
Just put one in when no one's looking. Just put a hole in.
It's in the middle of the building, though. It's not that easy.
Just put 2 holes in then. What's the nearest wall?
No. There is a window on the nearest wall.
Yeah, but that's not an outside wall.
No.
Can't
Anyway,
be that
nobody
difficult.
cares.
I care. You've
Do
made me care.
Good. I'm glad.
Yes. It's good. Fantastic. What should we do?
We're all giddy at season finale.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, 10 seasons in. 250. This is our 250th movie.
Yeah. 200. Who'd have thought when we started this little podcast 5 years ago that we'd have got to 250 movies?
With absolutely no thinking about it.
Go on.
And trying to remember. Not that I could anyway, because if you pose this to me, because my memory is terrible.
So is mine. Sage.
Of the 250,
Yep.
how many have been good movies?
Oh.
What's
do you
your
want a
gut
number or
feel-
do you want
Yeah,
a percentage?
Whatever you want. Was your gut feeling?
Good movies or great movies?
Good movies.
25?
Really?
I think we've hit 10%. I'd like to test that.
I was
I'm
slightly
gonna go-
higher. I was thinking if
Okay.
I'm thinking good, not great.
Okay. Maybe I'm being too critical. What are you thinking?
I had sort of more of a fifth, maybe towards 50.
Okay.
Maybe not quite 50.
You think you could take a list of all our movies and pick 50 good films out of it?
I think I could find 50 films that I thought were good or I enjoyed, but not enjoyed because they're shit. That's not what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I could get near 50. I don't know if I could quite get to 50. That might be.
So we've done 10 seasons. So you're looking there potentially top 5 of every season. Great movies, good movies.
I think as
Give
an
or take, because
as an
some
average,
seasons might have more than
Yeah.
5. But as an average, you're looking at 5 per season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. What about great?
It might be less than 10.
I think it's less than 10.
It might be towards 5. We're talking great.
We're talking great movies that you would like happily
I think
watch
it might
again.
be between 5 and 10. And that's with no
Yeah, without even looking at it.
research or... I'll pitch it around 8. That'll be my bid.
Okay. I can name 3 off the top of my head. I'm not going to, but I could name 3. So I think
That
it's
have
more
just
than,
popped in.
Yeah, so I think it's more than 5.
Yeah.
So 8 seems nice.
Okay.
Maybe this is a bonus episode.
Maybe, yeah.
What about terrible? At least 10, because all 10 at the bottom of the stream
100.
tables are terrible. 100 terrible movies?
Yeah.
Out of 250?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a big
I
number.
think 100 terrible, 50
That's the
good,
bottom 10 from every season.
100 mid.
Okay.
Just as a real first cut.
So we started this to find hidden gems.
Yeah.
How many hidden gems have we found? Is that the same as great?
No, great's...
Great's like above a hidden gem.
Yeah, great is what's this doing down there? This is...
Yeah.
A hidden gem doesn't have to be great.
No, it just has to
It
be
can be
entertaining.
surprising.
Yeah.
Or that's not what I expected.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. So I think... Like something like... So I would say probably maybe our most recent hidden gem that I would consider would be Security.
Yeah?
Which isn't a great movie,
No?
but it's really fun.
Yeah.
And you're putting that on not expecting much, and you've had a whale of a time.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So that's kind of my hidden gem kind of marker. If you
Right,
like.
yeah.
So yeah, I think hidden gem good. I think that's pretty interchangeable for me.
Yeah, okay. Fair. Last question. How many can you remember? Like 12.
Yeah, probably.
There's
Well, as in
definitely...
I'm bad at titles.
There's definitely movies. If I gave you a title, could you give me a synopsis
I
back?
think I could do it that way. Yeah.
I think I couldn't. I think if you give me a title of some of them, not all of them, most of them I'd be alright with.
Yeah.
But there's some movies out there where I wouldn't have a clue.
I
Even
think
maybe in this season.
my brain works more of, it's that one about that thing with that, and
You can't get to the title.
I might not get to the title.
So if I give you this...
If you gave me the title...
Could you give me a synopsis?
if you gave me the title,
Yeah.
I think I'd have a better chance of getting the synopsis than if you gave me the synopsis,
And you
I
had to get
would
the
have
title.
to get the title.
I agree with that. I think I'd be the same on that, but I also don't think I'd be very good at either.
I can put a game together. We can test that out. We might
I
have
feel
we
like-
done something. We might have done a game similar to that.
Yeah, but it's been a
But,
while.
yeah.
Malevolent.
Oh jeez. I know I'm already thinking of the wrong one. The Florence Pugh one.
Yeah.
Was it that one?
No.
Oh god no.
I don't even know myself. I thought it was the woman, the girl from... No, maybe it is Florence Pugh. I thought it was the girl from Game of
When
Thrones.
they go ghost hunting?
Yeah,
I don't think that's Malevolent. That's just the one that's popped into my head.
that is Malevolent.
Is it?
Yeah, with Imelda Staunton. Is that her name?
Celia Imrie?
Celia Imrie. That's the one I'm thinking. That's the
this
one
is
I'm thinking of.
this
It
is
might not be
shambolic.
Malevolent, but that's the one I'm thinking of.
That's the
But
one.
I thought it was the girl from Game of Thrones in that. But you're wrong. You're right. It is Florence Pugh.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I picked you a movie and I didn't know it.
You were thinking of something else.
Do you know who is in that? Scott Chambers. Do you know who Scott Chambers is?
Not.
He
Off the top of my head.
is the guy who makes the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movies.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. He peaked at Malevolent.
Unless the second one's as good as
Well,
people say
true.
it is.
Yeah.
Right. We probably should start doing a wave because we're 12 minutes in.
Sure. Okay. Question of the week.
Go for it.
I've forgotten what it is. Okay. Oh, right. Yes. So, question of the week. In 10 minutes' time,
Yep.
you've got to go and deliver a 5 to 10 minute lecture
Okay.
to an audience.
Yep.
What are you talking about?
So no prep, just go and do it
Just
now.
what you know, yeah.
As in this minute now.
Well, in 10 minutes.
Yeah. So it's the thing
Choose
I'm
your
most
subject and
knowledgeable about at this point in time.
Yeah.
Um,
Could be anything.
it's definitely wrestling.
Okay.
I feel like I'm more knowledgeable about wrestling than anything.
I think
This week's
you could
episode
talk
of Monday Night Raw, that's what I'm doing.
You could talk for 10 minutes about that.
But about wrestling, yeah,
Yeah.
easily. I'll probably do an hour.
Would it ramble, or would you try and get a thing? Would you be like, is it like a mastermind thing? Like, I'm going to tell you about the years, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I think I'd have to pick my prime viewing years, late 90s, early 2000s, maybe.
Yeah.
Or I could do it on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw
Right.
because I watched that yesterday.
Okay. That's
For the
fresh in your head.
time. That's fresh in my mind. Maybe Lost,
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Stephen King.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be
I could
interesting.
do a bit on. I'm not. I like Stephen King. I don't know if I'm as knowledgeable as some people are about Stephen King. I think I could.
I think you could opine about him and the nature of his work. I think you probably wouldn't be going into sort of, how some people
Specifics
really go
yeah.
into the spider diagram
Yeah.
of how everything's connected and yeah.
Whereas I think
Mind you,
people could.
if you've got
compete-
10 minutes, you could take that with you.
I could
You
take.
have
I've got a
have it on
poster
your
behind me
podium.
of all the connections
Podium.
between about Stephen King. I think I could. I don't think I'm as knowledgeable as some people are on Stephen King. I think there's more qualified people to do that. I don't know if there is about Lost or WWE. I think I'm probably the most knowledgeable person. I think I could compete with other people on those two subjects. What about you?
This podcast. Shit
Oh,
films.
I didn't even think about this.
Netflix. Terrible films on Netflix.
Terrible films on
I
Netflix.
talk about that. I talk about this.
That's a good shout.
Because I don't want to talk about really boring stuff at work.
Oh no!
you know.
To be honest, work would be the last thing I think about. As soon as I leave that building, I'd have no knowledge of my job at all.
No, what I'm saying is I could do 10 minutes, but my audience isn't going to be interested.
I could do 10 minutes up until 5 o'clock, and then after 5 o'clock, I couldn't even tell you what my job title
I
is.
think that, I do. I talk about how much good stuff there is if you look.
On Netflix.
Yeah.
Good shout.
And how you can enjoy terrible stuff as well.
Yeah. And how Netflix is much better than people think it is.
Yeah.
That's a good question. That was a good question. You were worried about the quality of that question before we started recording.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Okay, good. You've made me want to ask you something else there as well.
Go on.
But we were already going long. And
Fine.
I'm
Fine.
Like,
it's the season finale week. There's
how
no
much
rules.
do you have? How much do you, viewing yourself,
Yeah.
not to get quite introspective, see yourself as having a different work versus outside work self?
Yeah.
Is it night and day? Because like you raise a good point there where you say past finishing.
Yeah.
Are you quite good at leaving it?
I'm quite good at leaving work at work. Yeah, I am quite. I think in the past I've maybe not been the same person at work as I am at home, but I think now I am.
I think that comes a bit with age. Like
yes, I think
getting into turning 40, have a lot less
capacity for bullshit
to give about what people think about me.
Exactly. I think you're right.
Because I am more comfortable in myself.
Yes. I know who I am. I'm happy with who I am. And if you don't like that, fuck off. Whether you're at work, home, Asda, I don't care. Good question, though.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Cool. Shall we
start the wave?
Yeah.
Netflix. What was that word?
Don't know. You made it up.
Netflix news was what I was trying to say.
Sure.
Let's do this.
Let's start with an update on what is fast, I think, developing into one of Netflix's biggest projects in the works.
Yeah.
And that is the Thursday Murder Club adaptation, which Steven Spielberg is producing, the adaptation of the Richard Osman novel. We talked a few weeks ago about the first cast members that have been announced. They were, just as a recap, Helen Mirren, Pierce Brosnan, and Ben Kingsley. We said we were missing one of the elder main group.
Okay.
I think it was a woman. It's Celia Imrie.
Oh, how's she come up twice already? What a weird coincidence.
So she's been added to the cast, as have David Tennant.
Wow.
Mad Dog star Jonathan Pryce. Obviously what he's most known for.
How random.
Naomi Aki.
Yeah.
Daniel Mays is the perfect, that's that guy from That Thing face.
Is that this guy?
Yes.
Yeah, he is. I was thinking that.
British TV actor.
I know that guy, I don't know his name.
And Henry Lloyd Hughes. They have all signed up to the Netflix film adaptation.
That's a heck of a cast.
Yeah.
I know who did it. David Tennant.
Okay.
David Tennant plays creepy better than anybody. I think it's David Tennant.
Richard Osman himself, who appears to, for some reason, as well as writing this book, be the official spokesperson for Netflix on this project, has said that filming takes place on the Thursday Murder Club starting at the end of June and will likely film all the way through to September.
Okay, well, the end of June's now, so we're starting pretty soon.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's full steam ahead on that.
That's a heck of a cast.
I would say give it 12 months. That'll be here.
Yeah.
Maybe towards the end.
Is it a film or a TV show?
It's film.
It's a film, okay.
Maybe
less then.
Maybe they'll put it. Oh, it depends. Could be a big Christmas 2025.
That's too far away.
Do you reckon?
If it's going to finish in September, they would want it out before then.
Yeah, possibly.
Summer.
Maybe next
summer blockbuster. Cool.
But it's all happening.
It is indeed.
With that project. So, some organogram news. I know you love
You put that in the notes, and I've read that as orangutan news, and I was really excited. And that's not what it is.
I've got no orangutan news this week.
Damn it.
I will vow to you now.
Okay.
For next week's wave,
yeah,
I will come with some orangutan news. I will seek it out.
I will hold you to that.
Somewhere.
I will absolutely hold you to that.
In organogram news.
What's an organogram?
It's the corporate structure.
Okay.
Your sort of reporting lines.
Got you.
Within a company.
Thank you.
Hannah Minghella is leaving Bad Robot.
Right.
To become the head of feature animation and live action at Netflix.
Feature animation and live action?
Yes. Do you remember?
Two very different things.
Do you remember we, a couple of months ago, talked about Dan Lin coming in to be the new head of film at Netflix? Well, he is reorganizing the structure.
Okay.
So that you've got a person in charge of different genres.
Right.
In Netflix.
Live action is not a genre.
Feature animation and live action.
Two very different things.
So we've also got Ori Mama, who will oversee action, fantasy, horror, and sci-fi.
Okay, that goes together. I'm happy with that.
Kira Goldberg will handle thriller, drama, and family.
Right. Thriller, drama, and family.
Yes, I'll wait for this one.
Okay.
Niger Kuya Kendall will oversee faith-based, young adult, and holiday offerings.
Wow, okay.
So that's all the sort of I read that as like that's all of your not only your Christmas stuff,
Yeah.
but your Thanksgiving stuff.
Yeah, Yeah.
Easter,
Alongside young adult.
And Jason Young isn't getting young adult.
Okay.
He's getting comedies and rom-coms.
That's the same thing. Comedies and romantic comedies. I feel like he's got the easiest job there.
Do you reckon?
Yep.
Vingella works on for J.J. Abrams at Bad Robot. Prior to that, she was at Sony Pictures. She was behind Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Hotel Transylvania, The Smurfs are her animated credits.
Not bad.
As well as The Amazing Spider-Man. Is that one of the less good ones? I think that's one of the
Garfield's ones.
Garfield ones. And 21 Jump Street.
She's got a good CV, to be fair. Isn't Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs considered one of like the best animated?
It's very good.
Ever? Yeah, it is very good.
Very good. Sequel's pretty good as well.
I don't know if I've seen the sequel.
Yeah.
She looks like Maya Rudolph.
Just a bit, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done. Good job.
Good job. Well done. Move on. Next story.
Best of luck. So, if you happen to be in or around Dallas,
Yep.
Texas, or didn't know this was a place, thought it was a person, the King of Prussia in Pennsylvania.
That's a place.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could be one of the first people to visit Netflix House.
What's Netflix House?
It's a live, real-life chance to go and experience Netflix-based themes under one roof.
Oh, so you can like walk around sets and things?
Yeah, you can go and have a go at some Squid Games.
Oh, okay.
Things like that. I can tell you more about it.
Please do.
You can go and have a waltz to an orchestral cover of a pop song on a replica Bridgerton set.
Okay.
You can walk around the corner to compete in the Glass Bridge Challenge from Squid Game.
Nice.
And then you have got restaurants with food inspired by Netflix shows from all around the world. Loads of merch.
I feel like they've tried something like this before.
They've done individual pop-ups,
Yeah.
but these are specific. Yeah, Netflix House is bringing them together.
Is this staying?
There are first two locations that will be open year-round.
Okay, so it's a bit like the Harry Potter studio tour, but not where things are filmed. It's just that sort of idea.
Marion Lee, who is Netflix's chief marketing officer, says at Netflix House you can enjoy regularly updated immersive experiences, indulge in retail therapy, and get a taste literally of your favourite Netflix series and films.
Okay. That's a great idea, to be fair.
Netflix House represents the next generation of our distinctive offerings. The venues will bring our beloved stories to life in new, ever-changing and unexpected ways. The locations
keep updating them all the time.
Yes, apparently the locations have been selected because they are in two of the most popular shopping centres in America.
All right.
So within sort of malls, I presume.
Okay.
Boasting hundreds of retailers, high foot traffic and proximity to major cities. Both Netflix houses will occupy former department store locations and span footprints of more than 100,000 square feet.
Wow.
So yes, if you find yourself around Dallas or King of Prussia.
Fancy a trip to King of Prussia?
100% I do. Just to say I've been there.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that place before.
Me neither.
I'd like
weird
to go.
thing to have. You must get used to it. Well, it's just like to have on your letters that arrive when
Dear the King of Prussia. Yeah. I'd like to know the history of why it's called that.
Netflix House coming soon.
I'll tell you what, because you're going to do orangutan news next week.
Yeah.
I'm going to find out more about King of Prussia.
Yes, deal. Okay.
I'll get you some King of Prussia news.
The team behind the vintage, I think we can now call it a vintage series, because it ended in 2007, Pimp My Ride,
Oh, wow. Okay.
is getting back together
Oh, really?
to work with Netflix on a new motor makeover series
Right.
called Resurrected Rides,
That's a better name.
with 8 40-minute episodes starting on Netflix on July the 24th. Rick Hurwitz is the showrunner. He was the chap who co-created Pimp My Ride.
Okay.
And Netflix says, Resurrected Rides is an entirely new motor makeover series for the modern age, with a team of mechanics helping deserving owners transform their beloved beaters into roadworthy masterpieces.
Oh, okay.
Sounds pretty much the same as Pimp My Ride from what I remember.
Wasn't there loads of controversy about Pimp My Ride?
Yeah, because like the cars would just fall apart.
Yeah, and they used to take back all the tech after the show.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, so they'd wire it all up so it worked, but then the TVs and stuff they'd take back, so you'd have to put your own in.
Okay.
I heard that was.
Hurwitz said, we've taken the spirit and knowledge from the original and reimagined it with a hilarious host, brand new cast, plus the eye-popping technology and culture of today.
So they're not just going to put massive speakers in the back and make them really ugly.
Some dude's like, yeah, it's great you put a fish tank in my in my roof, but what happens? How do I feed them?
Yeah, absolutely that. Who's the hilarious host?
I don't. Oh, the host is. We do have the host. It will be. Bear with me. Chris Redd, actor and comedian, best known for being a cast member on Saturday Night Live.
Okay. It sounds
he
awful,
was
but-
also recently in last Christmas in Candy Cane Lane, which was Amazon's Eddie Murphy Christmas movie.
It was indeed.
So
Cool. Okay. Sounds terrible.
there's no new ideas.
No.
Talking of which, so we've not really covered this,
No.
which news from a few weeks ago, which I think it took a few people by surprise, given that
I had no idea.
we were
I
all
follow this guy's career.
under the impression that this guy had signed up to an exclusive deal with Amazon.
Yep.
And that's the news that Mike Flanagan has signed up with Universal to write and direct an Exorcist movie.
Okay.
I mean, there was a new Exorcist movie just last year,
There
wasn't
was,
there?
yeah.
And
Didn't do very well at all.
Didn't do that great. Well, his new Exorcist movie, which is described as a radical new take on the franchise. I don't know how radical you can get.
That's
But
what I
I'm
was
sure
just
it will
thinking.
be great.
I trust
because
Flanagan
he
with
is
anything.
great.
He is. But how radical can you do on an exorcism movie?
I want to know is, what was his pitch? What's the idea he has got that
Different.
seems to have got people excited and different?
Yeah.
Given, like you say,
They're all the same.
an Exorcist movie came out last year.
Yeah. All exorcism movies are the same, whether it's The Exorcist or any other type of exorcism movies. There's not much you can do that's different.
This movie has a release date penciled in already.
Okay.
It's Friday the 13th
Of
March 2026.
oh fucking hell. Okay. Wow.
So you might not be getting your Dark Tower anytime soon.
It
Put
doesn't
it
sound
that way.
like it, does it? Well, he's working on that, The Life of Chuck as well, isn't
Yeah.
he? So
That's post-production, isn't it?
yeah,
So
I'm really looking forward to that.
the
It's gonna be really good.
movie we were talking about, The Exorcist Believer,
Yes.
made $65.5 million in the US and Canada and $136 million worldwide.
Okay. It's not a lot.
I can see why they want a new movie, though, commercially, because apparently NBC, Peacock, and Blumhouse bought the rights for the Exorcist franchise for $400 million
Right. Okay. So
in
they've
2021.
not even anywhere near made that money back yet. So we just keep making them until we make enough money back.
Maybe.
If anybody can do it, Mike Flanagan can do it.
It just feels like I say, what's his idea? Why this?
Yeah. What's different?
What's got people excited? Because it's been done.
Yeah. Hundreds of times.
Okay. More release date news.
Okay.
The the movie that seems to have been filming for about 5 years, Brad Pitt's Formula One movie,
Okay, yeah.
which,
It's like the most
again,
expensive movie ever made.
as we said a few weeks ago, is now rumored to be right up there as one of the most expensive movies ever made. Has a release date. It actually has 2 release dates.
2 release dates?
It's got an IMAX release date
of
the 25th of June 2025.
That's nearly exactly a year away.
And it then has a cinematic release date of the 27th of June.
2 days.
Yes.
Okay.
The cast for this, if you need a reminder, Brad Pitt.
Yep.
Damson Idris.
Who's that? That's a great name.
It is a good name. So the synopsis being that Brad Pitt stars as former driver Sonny Hayes, who makes a return to Formula One alongside his rookie teammate Joshua Pierce. Together, the duo find themselves and their team battling against the elite sports drivers and teams. Also in the cast, Kerry Condon, Javier Bardem, Tobias Menzies, Sarah Niles, Kim Bodnia, and Samson Kayo.
Okay.
Directed by Joseph Kosinski, who is coming off Top Gun Maverick.
He did really well with that.
He certainly has a need for speed.
He does.
Yeah. There is... shooting will continue to take place through the rest of the Formula One season.
Yeah, because they're filming actual races, aren't
Yeah.
they? And I guess CGIing them.
Yeah.
Okay. It says here the movie is a landmark for sport and cinema, filmed in real time during Grand Prix around the world. What does that mean?
I'm not sure. It's not like they can ask them to stop and
Yeah, exactly.
do that corner again.
Including all 10 teams, the drivers, the FIA, and race
Luckily,
promoters.
there's about 45 Formula One races a year,
It
so
feels like
I'm
it,
sure
doesn't
they
it?
can get enough footage.
It feels like it sometimes. Okay. There's going to be loads of news about that over the next year.
Do you want to hear about a couple of surprising sequels?
Of course.
The first one
Oh.
is a surprise. I can tell you a surprise.
I am surprised.
Is that Sony have confirmed they are now in active development with Uncharted 2.
Right. Why not?
Well, I've seen the first one. It's all right.
It's okay.
It's just that.
Yeah.
And I don't think it really made much of an impact when it came out.
I don't think it did. It made $407 million, according to this article.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Well, it's coming back to make more.
Cool.
At
Same
some time to be.
Same cast.
That is essentially what is being said. Yeah. At least Mark Wahlberg will be a bit older.
Yeah,
to
true.
play
He wasn't
that
old
old guy.
enough. He just wasn't old enough. A lot of people didn't like Tom Holland for the role either, but I thought he was great.
I think he did well in it.
Is like Nathan Drake.
Yeah, I think he's a bit young than what I would have Nathan Drake has from the one game I've played.
Yeah, but he was playing.
But it was
younger
earlier
version
in
of
there.
Nathan Drake, wasn't he? Than the games are.
Yeah. The second very unexpected sequel, I would say, is do you remember Spaceballs? The Star Wars parody from the 80s.
I do.
Well, Spaceballs 2 is on its way at Amazon MGM.
Really?
And Mel Brooks will produce.
This guy is incredible. I watched. I'll come to it in a bit, but I watched the Gene Wilder thing at the weekend, and he's in that. And
I can't wait to watch that.
You're like 90. How are you?
1987 Spaceballs. As a kid, was one of my favourite.
I haven't
movies.
seen it for years.
Me neither. I thought Rick Moranis as Darth Helmet was like the funniest thing I'd ever seen when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It
was.
Josh Gad is attached to produce and star.
Okay.
With and also co-write. Josh Greenbaum is on course to direct this one. He directed Barb and Star Go to Visit Del Mar. I think that's
not a clue.
I think it's a Kristen Wiig film from 18 months or so ago.
I've never heard of that in my life.
Yeah.
Okay. Why not?
Fine, bring it back. Yeah. Why not? I mean, there's a million Star Wars movies to take the piss out of now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And other sci-fi.
This is the film that gets Rick Moranis back, considering he wouldn't do the Ghostbusters ones.
No, I don't think that happens.
No, I don't think either. If he
think
was
it
going to
happens.
do them, he was going to do Ghostbusters, wasn't he? And he didn't. So
They only wanted him for a cameo in both the Ghostbusters
Yeah.
films, and he wasn't interested.
yeah, he is funny in that. Though. Rick Moranis was great,
Yeah.
and he was in everything.
Rick Moranis was
The face of the 80s.
just brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's a sad story, isn't it? His
Yeah, it
wife
is,
was
yeah.
really poorly, and he just retired to look
Yeah.
after his kids, bring
Yeah.
them up.
But now they're adults. They've got to
He
be.
doesn't want to come up.
Doesn't want to come back.
Yeah.
Fair play to him. Stay retired. Keep going. We're on a roll.
He was in the news a couple of years ago, wasn't he? Because he just got punched in the face walking
Yeah,
down the
just
street.
randomly got
Remember?
punched. I remember that. I do remember that.
Another movie that has been announced that is not in production yet. It is being shopped around
Okay.
by 3 people
Right.
who, of these 3 people, have got a bit of sway, so they'll probably be all right. That is Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
Okay. Yeah, they've got some
They both are pitching to star in a new action thriller, R.I.P.
Right.
And they have got Joe Carnahan to write and direct.
Okay.
Joe Carnahan was behind Smoking Aces.
Great film.
He did the A-Team live action movie.
Not so good.
And Narc.
I haven't seen Dark.
But Affleck wants to do this after he has finished The Accountant 2, which is what he's currently working on.
Is he
apparently.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't like The Accountant.
I really liked it.
Did you?
I saw it at Christmas. I'd
wasn't
never
for me.
seen it before. I was just surprised. R.I.P. Just that. I don't know if that will be the title. It feels very straight to video, just
does,
as a
yeah.
title. There's no plot synopsis other than it is a action thriller.
I always think if I see R.I.P. as a film, I'd think of R.I.P.D.
Yes, which is
It's a great film.
incidentally that is back on Netflix UK.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Great film. Check out that film if you've not seen it.
It's a terrible good film.
That was when we first started this podcast. That was a task that you gave me to watch that film.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I do.
Because it was we did like a best films we've enjoyed or something, an episode like that. And
What
it
we
came
had to pick one for each other to watch.
We did, yeah. I can't remember what I picked for you,
No,
but you
I can't
definitely picked
remember.
R.I.P.D. for me. Next.
Ian McKellen
Oh yeah, I heard
tripped
about
off. He fell off stage.
Yeah.
Live. He is expected to make a full recovery.
this. Good.
After falling off the stage during a performance at the Noel Coward Theatre in London last Monday. He was performing in a production of Henry IV Parts 1 and 2 when he lost his footing and fell during a fight scene. The house lights had to be turned on, the audience heard him cry out and staff rushed to help. The show was eventually cancelled and the whole crowd evacuated from the theatre. A statement from his agent said, "Thank you to our audience and the general public for their well wishes following Ian's fall during this evening's performance of the show. Following a scan, the NHS team have assured us that he will make a speedy and full recovery and he is in good spirits." Ian McKellen's 85.
That's crazy.
He's 85 and he's out there on stage smashing it and fighting
Literally
people.
smashing it.
Yeah. Smashing other people and
That
himself.
must have been terrifying for everybody who was there
Yeah.
seeing that. Hear him crying out must have been awful.
He has tweeted he is looking forward to returning to work.
I was in the audience of. Do you remember when they did Phoenix Nights live?
Yes.
And the guy who plays Den Perry, Ted Robbins,
Yes.
he had a heart attack on stage.
I remember.
I was there for that,
Yeah.
and it was awful. It was like he just went down. And
Yeah.
you're like, shit, what has happened? And we all just got kicked out, and nobody knew anything. They just said, "Right, go home." And it was like shit. And then he was like following it on the news to see if he was okay. Luckily, he was
Forgotten
okay.
about that.
Luckily, he was all okay.
Did you get back to go and see it?
Yeah.
Did they reschedule it?
Right, I travelled all the way up to Manchester twice to see that show, and it's not very good. Yeah, it was in Manchester, and we had. Yeah. My brother couldn't go back to the second one, so my dad went with me for the second one, but I went twice. And it wasn't that great. But he obviously wasn't in it because he was still ill.
We will finish the news with a couple of sad pieces of news, and that is the first one is the unfortunate death of Eric Canuel.
Who is Eric Canuel?
Well, you might well say that.
I just did.
Because it's not a name that maybe immediately comes to the front of your mind, but he is a film director who directed one of the movies that we watched on this show.
Okay.
And indeed, one of the movies that I would have.
I was just going to say, good or great or terrible?
Definitely good.
I'd have it as good, I think. You were much
I
higher
don't
on
think
it than
it
I
quite
was.
gets to great.
No.
but one of the nicest surprises I think I've ever seen on this
think
show.
that's fair.
In a sort of, I have got zero expectations, and I've come out of it. I really enjoyed it, and that was the French-Canadian movie Bon Cop, Bad Cop.
Yeah.
Eric Canuel has passed away at the age of 63.
Wow.
He
Sad news.
He was not well. His complications related to leukemia.
All right.
Started off, as many directors do, as a director of music videos. And yeah, Bon Cop, Bad Cop was his breakout.
Wow.
It was from the early 2000s, wasn't it?
Yes, I think so, if I remember rightly. It's a long time ago. That film came 8th in season 3.
Wow.
We're just about to finish season 10, so it's a long time ago.
Yes, so
rest in peace.
His last movie from 2017 was Undercover Grandpa.
Okay. I feel like I've heard of that.
I think that's been on Netflix as well.
It might be on our it might have been on our long list at some point.
Yeah. So RIP to him. And then
Very sad news.
News that has just broken as we have sat down to record this evening, which is also sad news, is the death of actor Donald Sutherland at the age of 88.
Yeah.
From, well...
being old.
Well, I was going to say, famous for, well, take your pick. I suppose more recently, The Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Don't Look Now, which is a pretty terrifying film from the 70s. Father of Kiefer.
Yes. I really like the statement that Kiefer put out, because it was Kiefer that announced it. And his statement says, "With a heavy heart, I tell you that my father, Donald Sutherland, has passed away. I personally think one of the most important actors in the history of film. Never daunted by a role, good, bad or ugly, he loved what he did and did what he loved. And one can never ask for any more than that. A life well lived."
That's lovely.
I thought that's a lovely little tribute.
Almost 200 credits to his name.
Wow. It's great. I think he's been ill for a long time. But yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah.
88.
Yes.
Only 3 years older than Ian McKellen, who's jumping around stages fighting people.
R.I.P. to Donald Sutherland.
Absolutely.
That's all the news.
Well done. Good news. Have you watched anything good at the top of the stream?
I've only really watched one thing, and I know we've talked about it on the show before, and I know you've seen it, but I finally got around to it. I watched Godzilla -1.
Oh, did you? What did you think?
Oh, it's brilliant.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
How do they make a film like that with the little budget that they had?
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling.
Just
really,
I want to see the rest. I want to just let's full on. I think it was great.
That's how you make a Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
Not what we're getting from.
I think the period, having it as a period piece, just after the Second World War. I know that's the origins of Godzilla.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was great.
Yeah.
I was so invested.
I've never seen a movie stretch a budget so far. I don't think it just looks epic.
My expectation of it as well was that there wouldn't be much Godzilla in it.
Yeah.
For that reason, budget and stuff. But he's all over this shit.
Yeah, there's lots of him in it.
That first scene when he's like mini Godzilla.
Yeah.
When he's just
a baby.
Zilla. I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
And then it just keeps going.
Yeah, it's great. I loved it. I genuinely loved it. I thought
it's on Netflix UK.
If
you've not had the chance,
for me.
Go and watch it.
Yeah, 100%. It's
Brilliant.
just appeared on Netflix. 100% go and watch it. It's fantastic.
I think that's about it.
Oh, really?
For me? Yeah.
I haven't done a lot of TV watching. I've very much let wrestling get back into my life, and it's really getting in the way of TV watching. I did watch, though, the documentary Remembering Gene Wilder. I think I mentioned it briefly a minute ago.
I need to watch this. Yes, I want to watch this.
Bring a box of tissues with you.
Oh, really?
It's quite sad towards the end.
Challenging wank.
Gene Wilder, man, yeah. Yeah, it's quite sad towards the end when he gets his wife talks about his dementia and that sort of thing. That's not nice. But what a fascinating guy.
Sure.
Literally wanted to be a serious actor, couldn't get any roles, so just started being funny. And then
amazing.
Had a massive career.
No, it was fantastic.
No, he was one of the best ever at it. And then the Richard Pryor's daughter's in it as well. She talks about how they didn't really get along, but they both respected each other, but didn't really like each other, and all that sort of thing. There's not a lot about Willy Wonka in it.
Right.
The guy who plays Charlie from that film is in it.
Yeah.
He talks about him a bit, but it doesn't really. I guess because people know that part of his career, and you don't really know a lot about the rest of his career. I guess they focused on the rest of it, but it was really interesting. It's an hour and a half long.
This might be an incorrect perception, I perceive that Willy Wonka film is a bigger thing over here than in the States.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Yeah. In fact, I think you're definitely right.
Both in terms of how successful it was and how fondly it's remembered.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if Roald Dahl's as big in the States as he is over here.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, I would highly recommend it. Again, it is quite sad towards the end when his wife's talking, but yeah, wonderful bit of filmmaking. Really enjoyed it. Briefly want to touch on the Inside Number 9 finale that happened last week.
Okay, yes.
Perfect way to send off the show, I think. I'm going to really miss Inside Number 9. It's such a great show.
It'll be back at some point.
I think it will, and I think
maybe years down the line.
That is basically what the finale's about. So they got really meta with the finale in that they played themselves at the rap party for Inside Number 9.
Okay.
And so everybody who's ever been in Inside Number 9 was in it as themselves.
Yeah.
You got Tim Key and Catherine Parkinson doing coke in the toilets together.
They were in the first episode.
They were, yeah. Is it Amanda Abingdon?
Yes.
She was in it, but nobody could remember what she was called.
Right.
It was really even the guy. Who's the guy from Confessions of a Window Cleaner? Robin. Oh, that's on the tip of my tongue. Right on the tip of my tongue. But even he's in it, and it's just great. It's the perfect way to send off a show like Inside.
What's the twist? Well, tell me off that.
To be fair, there wasn't really.
Okay.
There isn't really a twist. The story's obviously fictional. It's all set at this rap party and they're in the toilet the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's different people meeting up with different people in the toilets. And Steve Pemberton's got this massive role in Hollywood that he's going to go off and do, but he hasn't told Reece Shearsmith yet. And Reece Shearsmith's got another idea for another show that he wants to do, and it isn't going to happen because Steve Pemberton's about to go off and be a big star. That's basically your synopsis.
Okay.
There is a bit of a twist at the end, but not a crazy one. But a great way to send off Inside Number 9. I'm going to really miss that show. Really good. The only other two things I've watched are we did our monthly watch along on Sunday night, and we watched two movies again. You didn't attend because you had got prior engagements, which is fine, but it's 3 times in a row now. It's been noted.
I just want to point out, I was all up for this.
Yeah.
And then, as I already mentioned, my daughter's away.
I'm only winding you up. Yeah.
I know you are. But just for the benefit of everyone else in the Discord, it was her last night before she went away.
Yeah.
And she said, "Can we watch the football together?"
Yeah.
So
you can't really say no to that, can you? I mean, that's fair. That is fair.
Because I may not always be the best parent, but I feel that a good parenting decision was to not let her join the watch along with and watch these two movies.
I mean, they were both movies based on nursery rhyme characters, so. But no, you're absolutely right to not to let your child join our watch-alongs. We watched two movies on Sunday night, and I thought this was one of the biggest coincidences I've ever lived through.
Okay.
But nobody else seemed to. I think I oversold it, and nobody else seemed to be that bothered by it. So we watched The Curse of Humpty Dumpty, and we watched Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Yeah.
Two completely. They're of a theme, obviously.
Sure.
But they're not
horror/murder
movies. They don't share a director. They came out in 5 years apart. Coincidentally, there's one actress who's in both.
Right.
But both movies filmed in the same house.
Wow. That is cool.
I thought that was like...
At what point did you realise this? Instantly? Or
because we were like, that's house... Because when we watched Curse of Humpty Dumpty first, and when Mary Had a Little Lamb started, we were like, that house looks familiar. But I was like, there's no way it can be. And then there's a shot of the fireplace. And I said, aren't those the pictures that are above the fireplace in that last movie? To which Alex replied, yes, they fucking are. And then we were like, that's the same house. And then there's a corridor that's very prominent in the first movie. That is then also in the second movie. And I was like, well, it's definitely the same house. What are the chances of that?
That's amazing.
It's unbelievable. And it's like, yeah, I couldn't get my head around it. I presume it's just a cheap Airbnb.
Yeah.
But both movies were
Both
movies were not bad.
Okay.
In my opinion. Obviously not great. One's called The Curse of Humpty Dumpty. You want the synopsis of The Curse of Humpty Dumpty from my brain?
Yeah, I really do.
So we meet a lady on her 50th birthday.
Okay.
Who has just been diagnosed with dementia.
Right. It's a downer to start with.
Yes. I mean, I don't think that happens to 50-year-olds very often,
Yeah,
but
it
it can
do.
happen. She then, her 2 grown-up daughters decide to move her back to the house they used to live in when they were kids to try and rekindle some memories. When they get there, they go shopping.
Right.
And they go to an antique shop, which is clearly just another room in the house. And they find a doll of Humpty Dumpty. And the mother recognises it. She's like, I'm pretty sure I used to own that when I was younger.
Okay.
I need it. I want it back in my life. It's the most fucking ugly, gruesome doll. It's terrifying is what it is. The lady in the shop says, that's not for sale. It's priceless. So the old lady says, I will give you £700 for this doll. And the lady goes, fine, sold, it's yours.
Priceless, but I have a price.
We couldn't go over it. It was very funny. This doll turns out to be haunted. There's an extremely over-convoluted storyline that's going into what this doll is haunted by, to the point where we had to stop at the end and try and explain it to each other, because it's very convoluted for a film about a Humpty Dumpty doll. But it's not bad. It's cheap, low-budget slasher movie. It's much more terrifying when it hasn't got 600 teeth hanging out of its mouth. And then we moved on to Mary Had a Little Lamb, which
one did you enjoy more?
I personally enjoyed the first one, but I think I
Okay.
was in the minority on this. So I think most people enjoyed the second one more. Mary Had a Little Lamb is a more straightforward slasher. So a couple of people, or a group of people, they're podcasters in fact, get broken down. No, they go to investigate a true crime story.
Yeah.
Of these people that have gone missing in the woods. They find a house. They knock on the door to this house, and Mary answers the door. Mary's a lovely little old lady who lives there alone. It turns out she doesn't live there alone. She has a mutant son who's also a grown-up adult lamb.
Brilliant.
That likes to go out there murdering people. And it's the slasher movie from that point onwards. The lady who played Mary would, in my opinion, win the Botsker for Best Actress.
Really? She was that good?
She was that good.
Nice.
She was creepy as fuck. She looked creepy as fuck. She was creepy as fuck. And she has this whole like monologue in the middle where she's being Captain Exposition.
Yeah.
And it's great. I was like,
nice.
She is really good. And all of us agree. She'd never done anything before or since either. She was in her 50s, 60s maybe. But I thought she was great. And I think we all agree. But yeah, come along and join our watch-alongs. We do this once a month I'd like to say the first Sunday of every month, but it rarely is. But at least once a month on a Sunday night, we'll watch a couple of movies together and just basically have a good laugh about them. And it's very fun. And anybody's welcome to join, even you.
You've just got to be in the Discord.
You have to be in the Discord. The Discord link's
that's where it all happens.
Yeah, the Discord link's always in the show notes. It's at the end of every episode. Come along. I'm sure at some point Nick will turn up to one.
100%.
I think that's all I've watched, though.
Good.
Shall we briefly go through what's coming to Netflix in July and then get out of here? Should we quickly mention Caught in the Net?
Yeah,
Let's
we will.
do that quickly.
So we have obviously Caught in the Net, which is our new-ish feature now. On every week, we choose a Netflix game to go away, play, and come back and talk about it. And we're going to do that slightly, but we're also putting a bit of a bookmark in it because we want to make sure we are doing this game justice.
Yes.
So I chose last week Valiant Hearts.
Yeah.
Which I have played quite a bit of.
I played a bit of.
But I want to play more.
I don't feel like I've played enough of to be able to review it.
It's not one that you can just pick up and, it's that I've found so far, do a bit and then put down. And I don't want to give away what I'm feeling on it all, but I am the more I'm playing it, the more I am enjoying it.
Agreed.
And I want to play
it's growing
it more.
on me more, and I don't feel like it's grown on me enough yet to the point where I feel like I'm done with it. I feel like I need more time with it to be able to give a good opinion on it, because there's a lot going on.
As is our right to change the rules of this feature.
Absolutely. So we just need another week, basically. I've not had a lot of time to play it this week. Hopefully next week I'll have a bit more time.
I love the way it looks.
It's beautiful.
I'm going to leave that there for now.
It's beautiful. I'm not keen on the control system, but I'll leave that there for now as well.
And we'll pick it back up next episode.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Quickly, we'll do a bit on what's coming in July. Then we'll talk about what we're going to do over the next few weeks, and then we'll get out of it, shall we?
Brilliant.
So, coming up to Netflix in July 2024. Stop me when you spot something you want to talk about.
July the 2nd is season 1 of Sprint. This is one of many Netflix sports documentaries. This is the one focusing on the world's most elite sprinters and their challenges to become the fastest.
I think sprinting must be really difficult because when somebody is the fastest, it must be really down high to not be able to get past them.
Yeah, like Usain Bolt. No one beat Usain Bolt.
Yeah, but there must have been somebody who had an entire career.
Yeah, at the same time.
At the same time as Usain Bolt. Yeah. It must have been so frustrating.
Yeah.
Because you're faster than everybody else in the world except that one person who's faster than you, and it must be so annoying. So I might actually watch that. July the 3rd, Beverly Hills Cop Axel F is coming to Netflix.
Yeah, that is Beverly Hills Cop 4, I think.
Maybe.
Essentially.
Eddie Murphy's back as Axel Foley.
Is that about the last of his classic roles that he has rebooted? He seems to have done all the others in the last few years. Bringing the Nutty
Professor back at any point soon. Or Donkey the movie, maybe.
Donkey's never got away, really, has he?
No, probably not.
There's always a Shrek on Netflix. Yeah.
I can't think of any. Yeah, Coming to America. Was it Coming to America?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Beverly Hills Cop. I think there was these 2 80s movies, weren't they? Big ones. Love is Blind Brazil is also coming that day, season 4.
Okay.
The Man with 1,000 Kids.
Oh, I didn't know this was happening. On July the 4th, a big day in the UK, July the 4th.
Oh, I didn't know this was happening.
Because the season 3 of Barbecue Showdown arrives.
Exciting. That is exciting. I did not know that was coming. Barbecue Showdown is a great show. If you haven't watched the first 2 seasons, check it out.
July the 10th, talking of sports documentaries, Receiver season 1, which is also season 2 of Quarterback.
Yeah, it's just focusing on a different position. It's an NFL documentary.
Vikings Valhalla season 3, the final season of the Vikings spin-off, arrives on Netflix UK on July the 11th. July the 12th, Exploding Kittens season 1.
Oh yeah, that's supposed to be really good.
Animated series based on the beloved card game.
Have you played Exploding Kittens?
I've got it, yeah.
I think I've played it with you actually once.
I'm sure I bought it.
Yeah, I think you did.
For a games night once.
Yeah, you're right.
July the 18th, Cobra Kai season 6, part 1.
Yeah, I didn't know this was this imminent, if I'm honest. Well, and that's probably the biggest
what do you
thing
think
that's
of
coming in July.
this release schedule? Because it is... Talk about stretching this thing out. Now, so we're getting part 1 in July.
Yep.
Part 2 is, I think, November.
Okay.
And part 3 is next year.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No, it's not. It's not needed.
No, it's unnecessary.
So I don't know how many episodes are in parts, but there's been 10 to 12 episodes in each season of Cobra Kai. So you're potentially looking at 3 or 4 episodes in each part.
Yeah, just fuck off.
Yeah,
just bring it all out.
That's stretching things too far. Just
if you're gonna do that, you might as well just do 2 shorter seasons.
Yeah,
do like season 6 episodes, and then next year do season 7 with another 6.
It feels like it's a long time since season 5.
It does,
and I
love Cobra
I can't
Kai,
remember what happened at the last.
I can't either, and I love Cobra Kai, and I'm sure when it comes out it'll be great, but it feels like it's been too long, and that's too much.
And stretching out another 9 months till we get the final episode. It's too much Netflix.
Fuck off Netflix. Come on, sort your shit
out. July the 19th, Too Hot to Handle season 6.
Oh, that's the Love Island rip-off, isn't it?
Indeed. We mentioned it earlier. July the 24th, Resurrected Rides.
Oh, that's the Pimp My Ride rip-off.
It sure is. The final season of Elite arrives on July the 26th.
I used to watch Elite, but I've not
season
seen any.
8.
I think I've only probably seen the first 3 seasons, if that. Another season of Unsolved Mysteries.
End of July, yeah.
End of July, 31st.
Okay.
That's it, I think. That's everything that's coming in July. It's not the best month, but
it's summer.
You get some Cobra Kai at least.
It's summer and the football's on. What more do you want?
Cool. Okay, I think we've done a wave. We've done nearly an hour. Wowzers. So, anything else we need to talk about before we go? Briefly, we'll probably just mention things are going to change over the next few weeks. Because we've come to an end of a season.
We've got a summer schedule.
We've got a summer schedule. We have. We're just slagging off Netflix's, but we've got it. So we're not 100% on the detail yet, but there will be weeks where there's only the wave. There might be a week where there's only the movie show.
And there's
And
also,
there's, the
but we
Boxcars
also
will be
have
in
the
middle of it
Boxcars
somewhere.
there as well. So there's going to be something every week
Yep, but not necessarily
for the
2
next few
episodes every
weeks
week.
until we kick off
Season 11.
season 11.
And then we'll be back 2 episodes a week every week.
Yeah.
But that might come towards the mid to end of July.
We will.
We've got holidays and things going on in the middle, and we need a break. Shooters.
And also,
we will always be here.
we will go into more detail in those episodes themselves.
Yeah.
But can I say there's going to be some changes for season 11?
I think that's fair to say. I think
And we'll leave it there.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some changes in season 11. Is a great way to leave it. Yeah, maybe even earlier than season 11. Who knows?
Okay.
Some things might be different. Only good things. Let's not make
100%.
people think bad shit's
Yeah.
going down. This is only going to get better.
All I would say is, I'll go a bit further. The format of the movie show has never really changed.
No, till now.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that little tease. You will be seeing more of us in the next few weeks. Right, I think we've done a wave. Let's get out of here. Come back on Thursday, and we will talk to you about this season 10 finale, the 250th film we've ever done, and it is called Dangerous Game: The Legacy Murders.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. Be here or don't.
We'll be here on Thursday.
We will.
Just download it.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thanks. Why have I said thanks? Bye.